Okay, welcome. I am going to just real quick, hopefully, this time. This is like my third attempt, mostly because I've just forgotten the map. Uh, to make a guide real quick for what is, in my opinion, and at least one others, the quote-unquote easiest route. This is not the fastest. This is, and to some people, it may not even be the easiest. It depends on how equipped you are, basically, with this game. Like it's personal preference for sure, but I think this is probably the most beginner friendly. Like if you just want to get the gold on Barbuta, maybe even the cherry, I think this is the safest in a wide variety of ways. And so that's what I'm doing here. So obviously first things first to go, right? First goal in pretty much every Barbuta run is just getting the amulet. So kind of have to do that. You could one cycle to run through that post acid drop and kill the slime. You don't have to, obviously. I didn't there, mostly because I forgot and I was talking. But, you know, get the umbrella just because it's free. You have to go this way anyways, so you might as well get it. And I would get it now. The other chest up top you can wait on, because we're going to have to go back through this room anyways, and that's going up there is the only way to actually get that chest anyways, or to actually leave, rather. That's what I meant to say. You need a mix of patience and just going for it. Like, you need to wait for them to be in a good position so that they don't, kill you. But you also, if you see that opening, you need to go for it, because you don't know what they're going to do next. And I would go for the money here. That platform breaks, but, as long as you aren't standing on it for just fun, like, it's going to be fine. And, I like the umbrella here just because we keep going through the acid. Another bat room. We're only gonna have to go through this one once optimally. Unless I don't even know what situation would end up with you going through here again, actually. I'm just gonna back out here, and you have to be willing to do that too. I would not say go for it if you're not confident, and I'm not confident here. Okay, I think this is a good cycle. And another reason you should have the umbrella for like this room in particular. It's just it makes that particular jump onto the acid block so much safer. But yeah, and there you go. You don't even have to kill him more often than not. It's usually easier to just run past him. Got to do a bit of platforming, but it's pretty lenient. The toughest platforming is later, but it's still not really that hard. Although if you do fail, it's pretty punishing. So, it's probably the riskiest part of the route in my opinion. Besides bats. Managed to kill one. And that guy, oh, he's coming. I don't know what I should, yeah, go for it. As I said, you gotta go for it. You gotta just, if you're up there, it's better for you to be on land and die, honestly, and risk death than be on a ladder because you can, and risk death because you can at least use your sword if you're on land. And yeah, here you go, another 50. We're not gonna be spending any money, like on items this run, so you don't need to go grab a ton. It's just like a little passive boon. If you do want to grab more, because later on, you'll see why we're getting money at all. In that case, if you don't already know. And if you want, you could check the map, see if there's any other gold that you feel like you could personally shoot for. And if so, go for it. I'm all for that. Just to give yourself, more insurance effectively. Spoilers. Light spoilers. You don't know what it means if you don't know what I'm talking about. And now we're going to go up here. And 200 is pretty much as much gold as I'm going to get on this route. I think it's a pretty safe amount, at least for me. It depends how much you struggle with the harder enemies, the mushrooms, the bats. And that was the trickiest platforming, for the record, was that Well, that was the punishing platform, I suppose, is more accurate. Because if you fail that, you're going to go down to the mushroom pit, and you'll probably die, because you're coming in at a weird angle. Let me just go up here. You can just fall right, you don't have to jump. As long as you keep holding right, you'll be fine. And then you can jump off to the left. And there's the pin, which we're going to need later. Then just fall down here. That'll get you access to this little bat thingy. Stand on this altar or whatever for a few seconds. And there's the ladder. The bat artifact thing, whatever it's called, it is probably something I would just recommend going for in any route no matter what. Because it's just, it makes the final boss so much easier. So much easier. Okay, this mushroom, you gotta wait just for him to get on the right. And then, as you can see, they jump in an arc. So if you just position yourself, it's chance-based which way they jump, of course. But if you position yourself so that their arc will always be over you no matter which way they choose to jump. And, just play it safe, like I'm doing. And these are both fine now. Okay, and then when they jump over you, specifically, that's a great opportunity, if it's just the one, to just keep running, basically. You can dodge them pretty easily. They're significantly more reliable than the bats, for example. So, I don't mind the mushrooms as much. It sucks to kill them. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. But to dodge, it's fine. And yeah, we're going through here. It's weird, but it's the quickest on top of being very safe. On the second tile, once you get into that next room, there's a doorway. It's invisible, but it's there. And that'll take us down here. Another fake wall. And of course, this guy gives you the rod. Yes, which gives you an actual range upgrade, which is very useful. And then wait for this guy to start cycling back to the left. If you can get 3 hits in, great. If you can't, you can just hide off on the right until he, leaves again. And then we gotta go this way again, unfortunately. You cannot really go up and make any progress. You don't really have to kill that slime, because we're just gonna go up here. Wait for the slime again, which is annoying, but whatever. Thankfully, they only die in 2 hits, so very easy, especially with the rod. And we are going to have to go through the double bat room again, which is unfortunate, but manageable. I just get out of here because they're both crowding up there. Okay, this is a pretty good... Oh yeah, they're just sticking on the right. I'm loving it. I'm going to go up here. It's a little risky. Oh my gosh. Well, that's where we have money. I don't know how he didn't die. Maybe the rod doesn't have contact damage. I don't use it that much, so it's kind of hard for me to tell. But this is why we have money. There is insurance for your deaths. You aren't just immediately throwing away a cherry, if you care about a cherry. If you don't care about a cherry, you could probably not even gain the money and be fine. Unless you really struggle with the bats and mushrooms, which is possible. So, I just get the money anyways. It's easy, it's on the path. The most out-of-the-way one is that 100 from the ruby, but again, it's easy. Like, if you really, in fact, want to save some time, you could get it on that the last cycle where we were at after we got the rod. Next, actually, I went too far up. Sorry. Let's just go back down. Next, we're gonna head off to the right here. Force of habit. I usually don't go this route anymore. So you can make this in the same cycle. Jump over here. Don't run for it, because it's gonna bait you. There's another spike right there. Wait for him to shoot. There you go. Alright, and this is why we got the pin, because we do need it for here. There's more money to the left here if you care, but on this route I don't, so. In fact, there's in fact like a total of 100 money basically on this route that I'm not grabbing. So if you really want, you could, or if you need, in fact, you could pretty easily get another, Poacher's Wolves, because it's, I'll just say it now, because we're going to be there soon anyways. You can buy eggs from a shopkeep pretty much right at the end, and hit that lever. It'll open up a pathway down here, which means we're basically at the end. Don't believe it, it's not an actual chest, it's a mimic. This is why we have the rod as well, because it makes the mimic 10 times easier. You could technically beat it with melee, you just, like, he only goes so far left, so you can kind of hedge your bets and whatnot. But then after you get past the mimic, go through this door, it'll take us down here, and then small jump, another small jump, there we go. And then we just go right. We're basically at the home stretch now, so, there's literally no other threats that could kill you at this point. The Mimic was the last one. But again, with a rod, it should be no problem. But yeah, here's the shopkeep. I am going to buy an egg, because I might as well try for cherry. But if you ever need more lives, you can come there. Walk over this invisible platform, which I hate. I could have gotten gold completely on my own, but I didn't know that there was an invisible platform there. Now, the tricky part, the boss, he moves pretty fast, so he can be a little scary, but as you can see, the bat completely cuts out the ghost part of it all. I recommend staying a bit ahead of him, but, and there you go. I got the cherry. It's very doable. Goal is even easier at that point, because you can actually die on the final boss. Should be fairly fine. I hope this helped, and I hope more people can, at least gold Barbuta. Hopefully they enjoy it as well, because it is probably my favorite game, hence why I actually bothered to make this guide. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.